Good afternoon, students. In the previous class we learnt some basic terms of thermodynamics. What are the basic terms we learnt? System, surroundings, state function, path function and internal energy. These are the basic terms already we learned in the last class. Now listen. Now we are going to learn about some more basic terms. Heat and work. Heat and work. Here the first topic is heat. Here the first topic is heat. Listen. Heat is defined as. Heat is defined as energy across the boundary. Energy across the boundary. Energy across the boundary separating a system from its surroundings. Separating a system from its surroundings. So listen, what is meant by heat? Heat is defined as energy across the boundary separating a system from its surroundings. Listen, next point, heat change. Now the next point, heat change. Heat change lead to temperature difference between system and surroundings. Temperature difference between system and surroundings. So listen, heat change lead to temperature difference between system and surroundings. This heat is a path function. This heat is a path function. This heat is a path function. Path function means, already we learned this topic, path function. Path function means system changes to its initial to final state. System changes to its initial to final state. So listen, what is meant by heat? Heat is defined as energy across the boundary separating a system from its surroundings. The next, heat change. This heat change lead to temperature difference between system and surroundings. And this heat is a path function. This heat is a path function. Understand this topic? Okay, listen. Now the next topic, unit of heat. Unit of heat. What is the unit of heat? SI unit of heat is. SI unit of heat is joule. SI unit of heat is joule. Joule symbol J. SI unit of heat is joule. Joule symbol J. Generally, this heat is measured in. Generally, this heat is measured in calories. Generally, heat is measured in calories. So listen, SI unit of heat is joule. Usually, generally, this heat is measured in calories. Heat is measured in calories. What is meant by calorie? Calorie means, this calorie is one of the important 2-mark question. This calorie is one of the important 2-mark question. So what is meant by calorie? Calorie is defined as, 1 calorie is defined as quantity of heat required. Quantity of heat required to raise the temperature. Quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water to 1 gram of water to 1 degree centigrade of water. So listen, quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water to 1 degree centigrade in the vicinity of 15 degrees centigrade. In the vicinity of 15 degrees centigrade. So what is meant by calorie? Calorie means amount of heat, quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water to 1 degree centigrade in the vicinity of 15 degrees centigrade. Understand this? So listen, what is the unit of heat? SI unit joule. Usually this heat is measured in calories and define calorie. Understand this topic? Now listen, now the next topic, sign convention of heat. Sign of heat. Sign of heat. Sign of heat is Q. The heat symbol is Q. See the heat symbol Q. Now listen, so if the heat flows into the system, if the heat flows into the system, if the heat flows into the system, energy of the system increases. Energy of the system increases. If the energy increases, this heat becomes positive. This heat becomes positive. So listen, if the heat flows into the system, if the heat flows into the system, energy of the system increases. Energy of the system increases. If the energy increases, heat becomes positive. Understand? Now listen. Suppose heat flows out of the system. Heat flows out of the system. Suppose heat flows out of the system. Energy of the system decreases. Energy of the system decreases. If the energy decreases, heat will be negative. Heat will be negative. So listen. If the heat flows out of the system, energy of the system decreases. At the same time, Q becomes negative. Understand this? So listen, the sign of heat is, symbol of heat is Q. If the heat flows into the system, energy of the system increases, heat becomes positive. If the heat flows out of the system, energy of the system decreases, heat becomes negative. Understand this? This is the topic heat. Okay, listen. See now the next topic, work. Now the next topic, work. What is meant by work? See, work is defined as. What is meant by work? Work is defined as force multiplied by distance. So listen, work is defined as force multiplied by distance. So what is meant by work? Work is defined as force multiplied by distance. See, mathematically we are writing the formula work minus W. Minus W is equal to force into distance. Minus W is equal to force into distance. You know W is work. W means work. F force and X is distance. So listen. Mathematically we are writing the work formula minus W is equal to F into X. Why we are writing this minus means this negative sign indicating work has been done by the system. This work has been done by the system. This work has been done by the system. So listen, this negative sign indicates work has been done by the system. So what is meant by work? Work is defined as force multiplied by distance. Force multiplied by distance. Mathematically, we are writing the formula minus W is equal to F into X. The negative sign indicates work has been done by the system. Understand? Now listen. This work is a path function. This work is a path function. Already heat we learned. Heat also path function. The same way this work also path function. So work is a path function. Work is a path function. Now the second point. This work appears only the boundary of the system. This work appears only the boundary of the system. This work appears only the boundary of the system. See, work appears only the boundary of the system. Boundary means already you know, anything which separates system from its surroundings. Anything which separates system from its surroundings. So this one appears only the boundary of the system. Then third point, this work appears during the change in the state of the system. During the change in the state of the system. If the system state changes, this work will appear. If the system state changes, this work will appear. So work appears during the change in the state of the system. Understand? The next point, one more point. In thermodynamics, surroundings are so large. Surroundings so large. More surroundings are there. So surroundings only so large. Surroundings are so large. So macroscopic changes does not happen. Macroscopic changes do not happen. Reason, the surroundings so large, more surroundings are there. That is the reason macroscopic changes do not happen. Macroscopic changes do not happen. Understand? So listen, this work is a path function. Work is a path function. Then second point, this one appears only the boundary of the system. This one appears only the boundary of the system. Then third point, this one appears during the change in the state of the system. The next point, surroundings are so large, so macroscopic changes do not happen. Understand this topic? Okay, listen. See the next topic, unit of work. The next topic, unit of work. SI unit of work is joule. SI unit of work is joule. What is meant by joule? Joule is defined as Newton meter. So correctly we are telling the definition. Joule means, joule is defined as work done by a force. One joule is defined as work done by a force. Work done by a force of 1 Newton through 1 meter. Work done by a force of 1 Newton through 1 meter. Of 1 Newton through 1 meter. So 1 joule is equal to N into M. 1 joule is equal to N into M. So listen, this is one of the important 2 mark question. So tell the definition joule. 1 joule is equal to, 1 joule is defined as work done by a force of 1 meter, 1 Newton through 1 meter. Work done by a force of 1 Newton through 1 meter. Understand? Now listen. For large quantities of work. Suppose large quantities of work present means, For large quantities of work. For large quantities of work, we are using the unit kilojoule. For large quantities of work, we are using the unit kilojoule. Already you know 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joule. 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joule. Understand this topic? So listen. SI unit of work is joule. 1 joule is equal to work done by a force of 1 Newton through 1 meter. If the work, large quantities of work present means we are using the unit kilojoule. 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joule. Understand this? Now listen. Now the next topic, sign of heat, sign of work. Now the next topic, sign of work. Sign of work. The symbol work is W. The symbol work is W. If the work is done by the system, if the work is done by the system, if the work is done by the system, the energy of the system decreases. If the work is done by the system, energy of the system decreases. Energy of the system decreases. If the energy decreases, work becomes negative. Work becomes negative. So listen. If the work done by the system, energy of the system decreases. If the energy decreases, work becomes negative. Understand? Now listen. Suppose if the work done on the system, if the work is done on the system, if the work is done on the system, energy of the system increases. Energy of the system increases. If the energy increases, work becomes positive. Work becomes positive. Understand? So listen. The symbol work is, the sign of work is W. If the work done by the system, energy of the system decreases, work will be negative. If the work done on the system, energy of the system increases, work will be positive. Understand this? See, now take page number 192. The term work. First definition. Work is defined as force multiplied by displacement. Force multiplied by displacement. Sorry, not distance, displacement. Force multiplied by displacement. The symbol minus W is equal to F into X. Here they are telling the representation negative sign. So this is the definition work. Now listen. This is some important points work. Work is a path function. Work is a path function. Then second point. Work appears only at the boundary of the system. Work appears only at the boundary of the system. Then third point. Work appears during the change in the state of the system. During the change in the state of the system. The next point. In thermodynamics, surrounding is so large, so macroscopic changes to surroundings do not happen. So this is the important point, some basic points of work. Then unit of work. SI unit of work is joule. This is one of the important 2 more question. Define joule. Work done by a force of 1 Newton through displacement of 1 meter. Joule formula, joule is equal to N into M. For large quantities, we are using kilojoule. 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joule. The next sign of work. The symbol work is W. The symbol work is W. If work done by the system, energy decreases, work negative. If work is done on the system, the energy of the system increases, the work will be positive. So listen, suppose your question, write a note on work. Write a note on work means just mark the question from here to. Work is defined as from here to till this right side, till this positive value is taken to be positive plus W. In between here, this is one of the important 2 mark question. 1 joule. 1 joule. 1 joule is defined as work done by a force of 1 Newton through a displacement of 1 meter till this. This is one of the important 2 mark question. Just note this. Understand this topic? Now listen. So in this class we learned 2 important basic topic, heat and work. Heat we learn almost the same topics, only we learn definition, unit, symbol. Same way in the topic work also we learn definition, unit and symbol. Understand this topic? In the next day's homework also the same topic only, heat and work. See, now we can mark the definition heat also. See, suppose your question, write a note on heat. Write a note on heat means, this is the definition. Heat is regarded as an energy in transit across the boundary separating a system from its surrounding. This is definition heat. Then heat changes lead to temperature difference between system and surroundings. Temperature difference between system and surroundings. Heat is a path function. So this is the definition heat. Then you mark the question, units of heat. SI unit of heat is joule. SI unit of heat is joule. Heat quantities are usually measured in calories. Usually measured in calories. The next one, calorie. A calorie definition. This is one of the important 2 mark question. Calorie means that is defined as quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade in the vicinity of 15 degrees centigrade. So you must learn this topic thoroughly. This is one of the important 2 mark question. The next, sign convention of heat. Sign convention of heat. The symbol of heat is Q. If heat flows into the system from its surrounding, energy of a system increases, Q value positive. At the same time, if heat flows out of the system into the surrounding, energy of the system decreases, this value will be negative. So listen, this is one of the 5 mark question. If write and short note on heat means, this is definition, unit heat, symbol heat. Understand this? From here to till this negative Q value. And already first we saw the topic work. Write a note on work means definition, unit, symbol work. Understand this topic? Okay, listen. See, just to recall the today's topic, difference between heat and work. Difference between heat and work. See, already you learned the definition heat. You know the definition heat. Heat means energy across the boundary. Energy across the boundary separating a system from its surroundings. Separating a system from its surroundings. So what is meant by heat? Energy across the boundary, separating a system from its surroundings. Same way you know, see the same way you know the definition work. Work is defined as force multiplied by displacement. Force multiplied by displacement. See, this is the first point. Definition. Understand this? What is meant by heat? Heat is defined as energy across the boundary, separating a system from its surroundings. Then work means, that is defined as force multiplied by displacement. Understand this? Then second point, unit of heat. Unit of heat. First, SI unit of heat is, SI unit of heat is joule. SI unit of heat is joule. Usually, generally, this is expressed in, this is measured in calories. Generally, this heat is measured in calories. Understand? Then, next here, the second point. SI unit of work is joule. SI unit of work is joule. So listen, here the SI unit of heat is joule. Generally this is expressed in, measured in calories. Same way here the SI unit of work is joule. Understand this? Now listen, here third point. Here we learn the definition 1 calorie. 1 calorie. What is meant by calorie? Calorie is defined as, calorie is defined as amount of heat required. Amount of heat required to raise the temperature. Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water, 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade of water. Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade. Understand? Here we learn the definition 1 joule. What is meant by joule? Joule is defined as work done by a force. Joule is defined as work done by a force of 1 Newton through 1 meter. Work done by a force of 1 Newton through 1 meter. 1 Newton through 1 meter. So here we can tell joule is equal to Newton meter. Joule is equal to Newton meter. Understand? The next point, sign of heat. Sign of heat. Heat symbol you know, Q. Heat symbol Q. If the heat flows into the system, if the heat flows into the system, if the heat flows into the system, energy of the system increases. If the heat flows into the system, energy of the system increases. Energy of the system increases. If the energy increases, Q value becomes positive. Q value becomes positive. Q value becomes positive. At the same time, Q value, the heat flows out of the system. If the heat flows out of the system, energy of the system decreases. Energy of the system decreases. If the energy decreases, Q becomes negative. Q becomes negative. Understand this? Then listen, next topic. Here the fourth point, sign of heat. Sign of work. Sign of work. Work symbol is W. Work symbol W. If the work is done by the system, if the work done by the system, if the work is done by the system, energy of the system decreases. Energy of the system decreases. If the energy decreases, this value becomes negative. Work becomes negative. Understand? Then same way, if the work done on the system, if the work done on the system, energy of the system increases. Energy of the system increases. If the energy increases, this work will be positive. Understand this? See, we learned the topic difference between heat and work. I think almost everyone understood these topics. See your next day's homework, the same topic. Write a note on heat and work. Write a note on heat and work and study this question. Difference between heat and work. Understand this?